Hello, fifth graders. Miss Lockhart here. We're going to finish up where we left off last week, and we're going to create a color wheel with color value. It's going to be really fun. So, if you haven't traced your circle yet, go ahead and trace your circle using a cup, a medium-sized cup. Now we're going to divide that circle in half. Remember, you can pause the video at any time. I am just guessing where the middle of the circle is, and I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to try to divide that up exactly right because we're just practicing, and I don't want this to take us too long. So now we're going to divide the bottom half into threes, so you have 3 pie pieces. Do your best to make each slice of the pie equal if you can. And then bring it up on the top, and now you'll have 6 slices of pie, or 6 sections on your color wheel. Now, this is a great time to pause the video if you'd like to do any erasing and to make your 6 parts equal if they're not quite equal. Okay, so here is a quarter. Now I'm going to use this to trace. I've lined it up to the very end of the lines inside the circle. So at the end of each line, you're going to trace a quarter. Do you see how I'm lining up to the lines that divide up the circle? So right at the end of that line, trace your quarter. Now, you may not have time to do this next part where you fill in the circle from the quarter. I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and trace them so that you can fill them in another time if there's not time today. Great. Again, don't forget you can pause the video at any time. I'm going to label the color wheel here. It's just a nice reminder where each color should go. So go ahead and label your color wheel. I've done yellow. Now green. And blue. And violet or purple. Next color is red. And orange. Okay. Great. We're going to use those circles around the color wheel for the intermediate colors if there's time. So I've grabbed my secondary and primary colors. Please make sure you're using color pencils. And if you don't have color pencils at home, go ahead and let me know and fill out that question form. Okay, so I'm starting with orange. Now, the very inside point to this slice of the pie, I am coloring in orange. And now I am fading it to be lighter. If you remember from last week, the trick to doing this is having different pressure. So when you start in the middle, you're going to have the hardest pressure and create that triangle with your solid darkest shade of orange, and then slowly bring your orange out using a lighter pressure for the middle and then an even lighter pressure for the outside, closest to the outside of the circle. So there will be a gradient, dark to light, similar to how we used color value last week. So you can see I'm doing the same process as before, where I color in the dark red triangle closest to the inside, and then slowly bring my red out. We want it to be a gradient, dark to light, so I'm changing the pressure. I'm releasing some of my pressure, and then I'm making it lighter toward the outside of the circle. We'll be completing this color wheel the same way with each color. I will continue to talk you through it. Remember, you can pause the video if you need to. Great. So I like to go back over and make sure that my color values are different from one another. You want to see 3 shades: dark, medium, light. Okay, here we are with the violet. Starting off in the center at the point, I'm coloring in that triangle with the harder pressure, and now moving outside of it closer to the edge, but this is the medium pressure to get the middle value. Okay, so let's do that middle value, and then I'm going to bring it down and not have so much pressure toward the end. A lighter pressure will create a lighter value. It's the white of the paper that comes through that creates that light value. It's awesome. Sorry, the color keeps changing like that. The light. Okay, I'm going to just tidy that up a little bit. Can't quite get the lighting right. Okay, I think this. Oh. Here we go. Now for blue. Same process. Find that little triangle toward the point of the pie slice and color it in with a harder pressure so that you have the darkest value. And now bring your pencil down with a lighter pressure so that you have that middle value, and lighten your pressure even more. We'll take an eraser to it in a little bit to make sure that our lightest color value is light by erasing some of it. Okay, now for green, same as before. Find that triangle in the middle, darken it to make it darker value, and lighten your pressure for a lighter value, and so on. And have an extra light pressure with your pencil toward the outside of the circle. And for the yellow. Now the yellow is the hardest color to see color value and to see the gradient, dark to light, because yellow is already such a light color. But you can still make it work. You have to press a little harder toward the center for the darker value. And there you have it. You've got your middle value with using lighter pressure and your lightest value. Okay. Looks kind of like a beach ball. And students, I just should say, once you understand how to create color value, your drawings are going to look awesome. They're going to look more three-dimensional when you color with color value. So I'm taking my eraser and I'm lightening up the outside, and I'm getting rid of that pencil line because that pencil line is actually quite dark. And I want the edge of my circle to be light because it is the lightest value. Okay, well, we're about done, guys. Now, if you are really excited about the next step, you may continue on, but it is optional for now. I don't want you to spend too much time on this project today, just about a total of 45 to 50 minutes. So if you've got some time, you can keep going. If not, just pause it or stop the video and get back to your other assignments for your homeroom teachers. But if you have some extra time, let's play around with intermediate colors. Intermediate colors are the colors between your primary and your secondary. They're the colors mixed together. So you'll see here what I'm doing. I am using a medium pressure and I am putting the lightest color of the two down first. So I put the green, well, I guess it doesn't have to be the lightest color. Just make sure that when you're filling in that circular shape, you're using a lighter pressure so that you still will see the second color on top. Okay, I will explain that again in the next circle. So I'm going to use blue, and I'm not going to press too hard because I want some of the white paper to show through. So that way my violet will also show up. It'll be really pretty. See there? You can kind of see how the colors mix with color pencils. It's fun. Those are intermediate colors. So again, I'm going to take my red and I'm going to lightly fill in that circle. And then I'm going to take my violet and go over it. Sometimes it's hard to see the color that is made, but when you kind of take a step back and look at it from afar, you'll notice, oh yeah, that is the intermediate color, the two colors mixed together. Okay, so I've got my orange. And then let's put some red on top. This color value and color wheel chart is going to be so helpful for you throughout the year when we use color value in other projects. I am so proud of you guys for trying so hard to do these virtual lessons and following the instructions. Please remember you can pause the video at any time. And you can message me in Schoology if you have any questions. Okay. I'm finishing the labels and then it is done. Great job, guys. See you next week.